Hey, what's up?
Hello. Hello.
We're back for Legacy Premier League. I'm joined by the esteemed Andrea Mengucci.
Yeah, successfully defeated Mono Black Prison, or I don't know how to call it.
Packrat Stompy, I think, is what they were calling it.
Cardboard Stompy, okay. Okay, and yeah, I'm excited to see the Grixis the Overmaster himself.
Yeah, I think Noah did well this past weekend at the Star City Game Open.
Yeah.
I would expect him to have submitted the same deck.
What does
And
he play? Let's see.
sure enough,
Yes.
he submitted the same deck.
I started registering with this exact deck this morning. With Grixis Omat. Yeah, the deck is very, very excited to play because you have constantly like check what's under Bomat, like with fetch land, with ponder, with brainstorm. You just have total control over your deck, and it's great. Like Bomat is definitely a like very cool addition to the deck.
Yeah, obviously something had to replace the missing, now defunct Deathrite Shaman, and I
Yeah.
guess the Courier can't be blocked by Deathrite Shaman anymore. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and he replaced the Cataxian Probe with Preordain, but I see a little difference from the decklist he played at the Star City game. He cut one Forked for a Fatal Push, and he cut one Preordain for a Flastor. So he clearly made this adjustment after the Star City game, I would say.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of sneak and show at the top table, so it's probably a reaction to that.
Yeah, and the sideboard, he was playing one Cabal Therapy main deck, and now he's playing Dismember. And he moved the Cabal Therapy to the sideboard. But the rest of the sideboard is exactly the same to the one he submitted at the Star City game.
Yeah, anyways, I'm excited to see him play this deck.
Okay, we're playing.
Okay, so this is a deck that I also like quite a bit. It's 4-color Loam, sometimes known as Aggro Loam. Matt Ole is a champion of this archetype. Plays a ton of it on Moto. If you play against him in a Legacy League, he's likely playing this deck. I think it's pretty strong. The hands you have with Mox Diamond in this deck are just much better than the hands without.
Yeah, that's the problem with this deck. Is that when you don't draw Mox Diamond, you're on the draw. It's basically not a Legacy deck. It's just no, it's just a very slow deck. And but the hand with Mox Diamond really just makes them worth it.
Sometimes you can get away with Zenithing for a Dryad Arbor to try to accelerate your mana. I believe he has a Dryad Arbor. Yeah, he does. So sometimes you can go like Savannah, Zenith for Arbor, play Knight on turn 2. Obviously, that's not as preferable as, Oxen. Looks like we have the game. Right? So
Game.
here's
Okay.
won the die roll.
So I think both hands are actually the Agrolome deck hand is what I discussed. It's a hand. All right. He was kind of he's very happy to see this ponder here because it means that he can just happily wasteland and hope to draw Mox Diamond next turn, right?
Right.
And whereas Noah kept the hand with just a ponder and a daze, now he's crying into Delver of Secrets. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would keep that hand. You're not super excited about it, but it's definitely a keep.
Yeah. And we see here Wasteland, as I said. We draw Mox Diamond.
Mox Diamond was an excellent draw.
But he's still deciding to still Wasteland his opponent. I'm not sure. What do you think about that play?
If Noah shuffled off the ponder, I think I like that play more, if that makes sense.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. But it's okay. Noah found a 1-drop, And yeah, we have where both of the players drew basically their key card one turn later. So they're confident is gonna get dazed for sure. And yeah, that's also a problem with this deck, is that daze is really strong against a deck with a little bit higher of a curve.
Right. Once you start filling your deck with 3 drops and the like, daze becomes almost a hard counter at most points.
All right, and now we see the old fetch land with Delver Seeker, so the next turn Noah can have a little bit of a scry effect.
Yeah, he should know his top card from Ponder, though, right?
No, he shuffled, I believe.
Okay.
And now there's this Wasteland that's denying the scry effect, basically.
Yeah, because you don't really want to fetch during your upkeep and just get wasted right there. It's kind of not
no Stifle in Noah's deck, but we see a lot of Stifle back now.
Oh, interesting. He's willing to trade his land drop to not draw a bad card.
The reason is he's still able to cast Gurmagangler.
Yep.
So he still have a play. He still has a play, but it is delaying his True Nemesis.
Oh, he didn't get wasted.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure that's a mistake. Maybe he wants to just double Wasteland next turn. I don't know. Not sure. Don't know. I can't really punish. He just has 2 creatures. There's really not much to be discussed about with Noah going on.
Yeah, so the reason not to Wasteland is, I guess if you draw a Green Sun Zenith, you would rather Zenith for Knight of the Reliquary, right?
Yeah, but the plan, like, since you started to do turn 1 Wasteland and delaying the Dark Confident, maybe like your plan is just Wasteland. I guess the fact that Noah decided, oh yeah, you know what? The fact that Noah decided to fetch in his upkeep, willing to shuffle away to get Wastelanded, it means that he has a lot of lands.
Yep, that is a reasonable read to make. If you were in Rudy's shoes here, do you double waste?
The Gurmagangler is so big.
All right, looks like he's going for that play. Because I think once you crack the first Wasteland, you have to crack the second one.
Yeah, but let's say Noah flips Delver, which should happen at least once, like kind of half of the time, and it didn't happen for 2 times. You get 8 damage here. And that's just a lot. He might be forced into chump block in here.
Wow, Wasteland off the top might be actually great for Noah at some point.
Yeah, the fact that Noah has a Gurmagangler, a 1-mana 5/5, it's just making this Wasteland game huge. Because whereas Rudy only has this like 3-mana card, 4-mana card, and he just can't play with this. Yeah, that's Mox Diamond though. Yeah,
so Angler is a 1-mana card, but it's a 1-mana card that's immune to Abrupt Decay, which is the primary source of removal in the 4-color Loam deck.
Yeah. There's someone plays a Source to Plowshare in the sideboard.
Yeah.
And now we see the classic hand of, I'm sure you had a lot of these hands in your life, just 6 lands.
I have had a bunch of flooded hands before, usually by my own design.
Yeah. No Molten Vortex or I don't know. What's the payoff for having all those lands in your hand?
Yeah, so I think you should trade Dryad Arbor for Delver. I think it was actually okay not to trade Confound for Delver because the way you get back into this game is to like get 2 removal spells.
Yeah, so Noah here decided to offer the trade.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think he did that? Because he doesn't want to get Zenith for 3, right? That must be the reason.
Yeah, and also just like getting in any damage versus Rudy's low life total and Confidant is valuable, I think.
Yeah, I think. So of course Noah doesn't know that Rudy didn't have a Grixis and Zenith, so he just wanted to stop him from making a knight. And in case Rudy had the Zenith, he wouldn't have traded because he needed that like 8/8 knight or whatever.
Right, but getting the damage through, I think, is valuable too because Confidant becomes a liability then.
Yeah, now there's a Zenith for 2. Then I get Scavenging Ooze.
Scavenging Ooze is going to be a good one if Rudy lives long enough to use it.
Yeah, we still haven't seen any Delver flipped. No one drew exactly 0 spells since the beginning of the game.
Right.
I guess he drew dates. But...
If we flip a bolt right here to Delver, it's lethal.
Oh, Delver flipped. What was it?
What was it? Fourth bolt, the wrong bolt, except that'll probably be good enough.
And that's the game right there. So Noah did very little in this game and won. That's a clear testament of maybe how the matchup going. Maybe the matchup is favorable for Grixis, I would say.
Oh, wow. Wait, no. Rudy didn't have the main deck Tabernacle, did he?
So, no. He's in the sideboard. So Sideboarding, Tabernacle, Thalia, Liliana, Last Hope, Toxic Deal is just good cards. But again, we're sideboarding expensive cards here. What is Noah doing?
I think Noah's going to take out... Well, so...
How many surgical do you want?
I think they don't have deck lists yet, correct?
Yeah, I didn't have deck lists when I played, so I assume they don't either.
So they're sideboarding blind, which, obviously affects your decisions because you don't know exactly what's going to go on. But it looks like he wants to take out the 1 toughness creatures. Noah wants to take out the 1 toughness creatures, realizing Golgari Charm is a commonly played card, and so is Liliana, the Last Hope.
Exactly. And we see Surgical Extraction in Noah's sideboard, and this deck has Loam in his name. How many of these do you think Noah is going to bring in?
So my gut is that since there's only 2 Loams and 3 Punching Fire, you should only have about 1 to 2 Surgicals, not full 3.
Yeah, my assumption was 3. Well, was 2, in fact.
Yeah.
What do you think there's a difference between these and lands?
Yeah, it's pretty different. The 4-color Loam deck, I think I would describe it as a rock deck that happens to have life.
Yeah. No, my question was about the Surgical Extraction. You sideboard in all 3 of them against the lands?
Generally speaking, I believe you should.
Because of the fact that you can wasteland the Dark Depths.
Yeah.
But it's not the case, so let's let's talk about this matchup. And Noah has a Braid, of course, for Chalice.
Yep. And he knows Chalice is a very real thing from that deck. I'm sure Noah's played this matchup tons of times.
So Force of Will is going out, but then it's going to come back in for 1 Surgical. And 1 Spell Pierce. No, Spell Pierce is good.
I actually am not thrilled about the Fluster Storms from Noah. Yeah, he takes them out. Fluster Storm, I think, only counters Zenith and Charm and P-Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, you can counter a Loam or a P-Fire, but that's not going to be a good long-term plan.
So Noah decided to only run 1 Surgical Extraction. All right, so Rudy without Mox Diamond again.
Noah's hand is unkeepable. He's going to mulligan that so fast.
Yeah, but I think Rudy's going to keep it just because it's on the play. This hand is okay on the play. Maybe on the draw it's a mulligan, though.
Oh, wow. Noah's very quickly gone to 5 cards, but that's a fine 5-card hand.
Yeah, the card advantage isn't really a thing. Like we saw last game, Rudy ended the game with like 7 cards in hand, and Noah casted like 3 spell, and they won.
But at the same time, I think Noah needs enough lands to operate versus the 4 Wasteland, 1 Ghost Quarter deck.
Yeah, so you're saying that him being flooded was actually good?
Yeah, I think it actually ended up working out okay for him.
Yeah, the first game, Rudy hand was relying a lot on Wasteland, and Noah drawing a land every turn,
Right.
Just playing his way. So we see the good old combination Scrubble and Taiga. We don't see that very often in Legacy.
It is nice because it lets you cast all of the spells in the deck. Yeah, it does, except for Liliana. Sorry,
Okay.
all of the spells but Liliana.
Yeah, I love to do those mana bases in Cube, but not in Legacy.
You sometimes see them in Modern, depending on the deck.
Traverse Shadow.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking of too as well.
All right, so Noah decided to not play Brainstorm on the turn. A very common play from like the beginner of Legacy, but you see the master of Legacy, the master of Delver, does not end of turn Brainstorm, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of debate about that, but generally when you're playing a more mid-rangey sort of deck, you really don't want to end of turn Brainstorm. I think in a combination deck such as Storm or something similar, it's more okay to EOT Brainstorm or even main phase Brainstorm on turn 1.
Why do you think is Noah fetching and playing Ponder instead of like going Volcanic Island Ponder?
He has red spells in his deck, like a bolt. Yeah, exactly, a lightning bolt or a fork bolt would let him kill the Confont, right?
And he does not want to find himself with 2 Volcanic Island into play. He wants to have 1 Mana Sea and 1 Volcanic. So this is why Noah made the Ponder fetching first, despite he had the Brainstorm in hand, a card that you usually play before fetching.
Right.
So Rudy has mana to cast his Knight of the Reliquary, but decides to go for the Strip Mine.
Yeah. It's gonna be awkward for Noah. Did Noah keep with his Ponder?
We cannot tell. But Noah drew turn. He kept the Ponder, found the Dismember, and the Scalding turn, and the second Scalding turn. Wow, okay. We have a Gurmag this turn.
That was an excellent fetch land to draw for Noah. The Brainstorm means he can Angler this turn and probably put back Liliana.
Yes, I think he should do that. I'm not sure about this Spell Pierce. What's it really doing in this game right now?
Actually, something Noah might do is just go Tarn Pass to see if we get Liliana, and then just untap and play the Angler next turn.
Yeah, playing the Angler is very, very scary in the face of Liliana, but also, yeah, Knight of the Reliquary can put the Gurmag Angler just too small in that case.
Right. So we'll see what Noah. Yeah, Noah just wants to play around Liliana off the top.
Oh, okay. I love this play. I love this play right now. It's great.
Noah also deduces that the most likely thing for Rudy to have is a bunch of 3-drops, so he just aggro Wastelands.
And Rudy not play Bayou here means that he cannot play Liliana next turn.
Right.
So Noah, if he just made the Scalding turn go play, he just wouldn't have played around Knight. Whereas Wastelanding, he played around both. Knight and Liliana.
That's a great play. Unfortunately, I think the Knight will come down next turn.
Yeah, there's nothing Noah can do. He could have drawn something off the top. Or no, he couldn't have because he brainstormed. Yeah. So there is no way he can play around Knight. And Knight is quite large. Knight is a 6/6.
It will be a 6/6 if they crack the fetch land, which I believe Rudy will next turn.
So Noah is thinking about the graveyard thing, but when I play the Grixis Delver, I don't think there's any merit in keeping any card in a graveyard, so you shouldn't. Gurmag is okay.
The reason to keep cards in the graveyard is for a second Gurmag Angler, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, which card to take? There's no anymore Death or Shaman, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Caleb points out that you can use Surgical to trade Angler for Knight. That's a pretty bad exchange for Noah. I'm sure he's going to try to avoid doing that if possible, but it is something you can hypothetically do.
He can also just draw a What can he draw off the top to deal with this knight? He already played one Dismember. I don't think he has more.
Diabolic Edict if he sided it in, right?
Exactly. Diabolic Edict is a card.
Noah's hand cam is slightly lagging. Mike.
Yeah, he does not have a Gurmagingler, I'm sure. He does not have a Gurmagingler. There's a little bit of lag in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just flagged from his hangout, but
it's okay. It's okay. Let's just pretend that Noah doesn't have a Gurmagingler, but there's a fourth random card that he drew off the top because he fetched. Okay. We're still adjusting, I would say. All right, so we are. Rudy also has the Punishing Fire Grove combo going on, but Noah can stop it with the Surgical. Though again, Rudy can play around Surgical by not returning the Punishing Fire until they have a second Grove to Burn Willows.
I think we're getting Noah's hand back real quick.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm sure you've done that play many times of not getting back the Punishing Fire with Grove to play around Surgical.
Right. I have once or twice.
Okay, so here we're back. And there's a Chalice of the Void in play, and Noah of course did not counter.
Chalice actually plays around Surgical completely, right? Chalice for one?
I mean, he has a Braid.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy doesn't know that.
Noah has a Braid, and yeah, they just... So we see that Rudy took a hit from Gurmagingler. Didn't want to...
Yes, Dismember, technically speaking. But I think... Remember, deck lists aren't known, so he can't be sure how many Dismembers Noah has, right?
Yeah.
But I think the goose... sorry, not the goose. The jig is up. Because once you don't attack there into the knight... Oh, I guess Rudy could just waste himself to trade still. I was about to say that the no attack there implies that he has no Dismember in his hand.
Do you know if Rudy has a Maze of Ace in his deck?
I'd have to go look again.
Yeah, it's okay. They usually play one, remember? And
yeah,
that's definitely a good thing. But still, Rudy does not attack. He's just very patient.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, the worse it is for Noah. And yeah, Noah just packs it in.
He didn't even why didn't he Surgical just to get all the informations?
Chalice on one. No, the Chalice was still there. Maybe he didn't want Rudy to remember that he has Surgical in his deck.
I think the information that you gain by Surgical in and seeing like Choke or Liliana the Last Hope and Liliana of the Veil, only one Liliana of the Veil, I think that's just huge.
One thing to note, Noah didn't actually have Diabolic Edict in his deck that game.
Now they're there though.
Yeah, I think maybe that was a slight misstep.
Maybe you don't want Force of Will.
Yeah.
So definitely Knockabout Therapy. Oh, he boarded out the Surgical. Yeah, so that was that would have been like a double good play playing Surgical because you make your opponent think you have Surgical, but you don't.
Yep. It just forces slightly more awkward situations where you might want to return Punching Fire, but it's hard to tell if you're supposed to or not.
Exactly. The situation I was talking before to you. But remember, we are playing... it's okay. We're playing at our best, but, you know.
Deck lists are not known, remember. That's one key. Second off, you know, it's Noah. Noah's really good, so you have to respect him a lot.
So, Rudy kept another pretty bad hand. I'm not saying they're mulligans. I'm just saying they're like hands that this deck keeps and just, you know, hope your opponent doesn't go too fast.
I think that hand is a keep, but it is certainly awkward, is how I would describe it.
All right, and Rudy does not want to get wastelanded. So what's the best thing to not get wastelanded?
By your own wasteland.
Your own wasteland. Though, of course, Noah can just wasteland, and then he's forced to wasteland their Thought Strand, and nothing happens.
Man, I love this patience from Noah. He doesn't crack either of his fetches for ponders because A, he doesn't know what lands he wants to get yet, and B, the thing he would have to go find with his ponders are lands anyways.
Maybe threats. Maybe like a. Actually, it doesn't have Bulmakur in the deck anymore, and yeah, this might just be the best play.
You're gonna see Noah hardcasted days here, I believe.
You mean cast top 2 mana?
Yeah, hardcasted days. Probably up 2 Cs given the presence of Lilian, the last hope, right?
Noah has a lot of red cards in this deck, though. Ooh, he's returning the land.
Huh. Interesting.
Maybe he's just not interested at all in casting Liliana.
Yeah, that would make sense then, right? So I guess we'll see what Noah draws.
I'm actually rooting for Rudy here because I will play the winner, and I feel that Goblins is better positioned against like a mid-range deck like 4-color Loam than Grixis Delver. What do you think?
That's interesting that you would say that. I would assume how many caverns are in your deck?
4.
Okay, I feel like the Grixis matchup is probably fine for you.
You think so? Okay. We're playing against the probably best player in the world of Grixis Delver, so it's obviously
okay. That is a different statement than the one you made.
All right. So here, Noah decides to wasteland the Scrubland and pass, and finally Noah can cash in this Spell Pierce that's been keeping up the whole time.
Yeah. So I guess Noah made all these plays with the intention of trying to use Spell Pierce on a card, right?
On like a Chalice of the Void.
Yeah, or anything really, because I don't think you can leave up one forever.
All right, we see this ponder here as Lightning Bolt, Young Pyromancer, Underground Sea.
Interesting. Probably. I'm not sure what I would do.
I think you keep. You keep all 3 because Young Pyromancer is good with like ponders and etc. And Lightning Bolt can be effective against something. All right, choose to play another ponder right after. Why?
Well, there's a Pyromancer on top.
Because next turn Noah could have gone fetch land to shuffle the Polluta Delta,
right,
and then Pyromancer Ponder. But of course, we're playing against a real like an opponent, so Rudy can do whatever he wants.
So look at Rudy's mana base. Can't even cast the Knight this turn.
Oh. But maybe he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
Technically speaking, you can. You can float a colorless off your wasteland, Ghost Quarter yourself, get Forest, and play Knight of the Royal Quarry.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great play, but I'm saying it is something you could potentially do.
Maybe Noah wasn't that against the fact that he could have drawn the 3rd Underground Sea on top of the deck. That's why he decided to go ponder last turn. And he finds a Delver.
Oh, better late than never, right?
I mean, it's turn 1 basically. Noah has a 1 land in play, so
it is turn 1. It's just they both expended like I don't know, a bunch of cards.
It's turn 1 and Noah's on the draw. That's what they see from this board state.
Right.
And Delver did not flip, and Noah draws that Underground Sea that he wanted to draw. He didn't want to fetch land to shuffle that Underground Sea away.
Mm-hmm.
And we see now Abrupt Decay in combat.
Nice. This clears the way for the Pyromancer actually to try to dominate the game.
It's risky though to just play Pyromancer and empty board against like a Liliana of the Veil deck.
I think you pretty much have to do it here though. Like it's not going to get better for you.
Yeah. And Knight is down.
That's a big boy.
It's bigger than the 3/3. No, I can draw Dismember or Diabolic Edict.
How about a Delver of Secrets?
That's somewhat evasive. So remember, there's a Tabernacle in Rudy's list, so he can go Wasteland, Tabernacle at some point.
Yeah, that would be really, really strong. The other thing is he just has a Toxic Deluge to cover the Pyromancer as well.
Just thinking about it.
Love this attack.
Yeah, this attack just says, I have a lightning bolt, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just bluff attack. Remember, a lot of depends, like all this bluff attack depends a lot on how much time you take before attacking.
Right. Noah didn't even hesitate, really. He just did it.
Yeah, he did it, but it took a little bit of time. But it's okay. He has a bolt, so he doesn't have to bluff anything. And now Noah cannot play the Liliana Hope, I think. Maybe he does to just get back Delver and then go double Delver. This is a very bad spot for the Grixis Delver player.
Yeah, I think the decision is, do you play Liliana or do you play Delver? I don't think playing Liliana accomplishes that much, but the problem is your mana base is going to be wrecked really soon by the Knight. So that's why this is such a difficult decision.
Yeah, Rudy also is representing a clock so fast because he can play a second Knight next turn, make the Knight very large, and then just attack with both to represent lethal.
So I actually, if you do plus on the Knight, your Liliana doesn't die unless your opponent has a fetch land.
Yeah, which are a wasteland.
Yeah.
No, that was definitely a strong play. It means, do you want to make me unable to get back my Delver Secrets, or do you want to use your Knight of the Reliquary?
Yeah, the issue is the second Knight, I think, is going to seal the game.
Yeah.
It's not like Noah could do much about it, but it's certainly going to be really, really debilitating. And nice. I think being able to sack the Dryad Arbor right there immediately for the Knight is just great.
For a wasteland.
Yeah.
Start attacking. We don't see Grill. So Noah, Rudy is attacking all the underground seas because the second one is gone now. And yeah. Oh, there it is. Gurmaginga, but it's too late.
Yeah, the problem is the 7/7 Knights are just angrier than the 5/5 Gurmag Angler.
Yeah, the way like Grixis Delver beats Loam is with like pressure, days, like make him like punish Rudy to cast his expensive cards with cheap counters. Yeah. But Noah. But Rudy's still 18 on turn 8 means that Noah did not put the pressure enough.
And also, this is a subtle play. I loved Noah's play. Playing the Angler does almost nothing, actually. Obviously, it looks really bad here, but I think playing both Delvers leads to a win more often than playing the Angler does.
And we have a winner.
Yeah, Rudy takes it in 3.
There it is. That's the list. He does play Maze with it. Yeah, the list is very straightforward, but it's effective. Rudy defeated the Grixis Delver Master.
Yep.
Must be nice. And yeah.